should the party go? The next few days? The next few weeks?
All summer long, baby! We NBA champ!
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip.
Thank you. And like they said, enjoy this moment, and have fun with it. Ha, 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 ha.
Hello, Slurred Word sports fans. It is Tuesday night. We are 2 days from the NBA draft. It already feels like it's July. The NBA's popping off. We're like not even a week removed. There's moves happening every day. Matt, how you doing? We're about to break down some trades.
Oh, I'm good. There have been only one trade so far, but it feels like, it never stops. It really doesn't stop.
It's this league, man. It's this league. Best league in the world.
The league that never sleeps. Do we want to get started with the trade, the big trade?
Yeah, we can start with the big news. Lamelo Ball. He signs with the Australian Hawks, and the Australian Hawks are now the favorite for the NBL. The NBL, wow, what a move! That was the one you wanted to talk about, right?
What if Bogut comes back? Are the Hawks still the favorite?
I don't know. The one team that started RJ Hampton's pretty good. But let's talk about the real trade. We'll talk about this a little bit later. I know, I was making a joke about that being the biggest move. Let's talk about the biggest move. Matt, let's go.
All right. As we all know, there was the big Lakers trade. Mikey, did we talk about this when it happened? I can't remember.
No, we haven't had an episode since after Game 6.
No, I was wondering if I texted you about it. I don't think we texted about it.
I don't think we did either.
I don't really think we did. So this is our first time talking about it. I bet we're going to come out with the same opinion. What do you think? Do you think they overpaid or underpaid or about right?
Well, I think they gave up a lot. I think that's kind of what it took to get Anthony Davis. I think the Pelicans were winners of this trade for sure. I love the move for the Pelicans. It's tough for the Lakers. They don't have much help. They don't have the cap room. And now Pelinka's looking like an idiot because we have the salary cap details. That they can't accept the trade till July 30th, so
they're trying to rework it.
Yeah, and now they might have to give up something else for it. Like, I don't know.
The thing that regardless of the salary cap, I'm sure they'll get that worked out. It's good that they got Anthony Davis. The thing is, if they win a title, it doesn't matter at all. You're giving up firsts past LeBron James, and when LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to be there. I mean, if they win a title, it doesn't matter. But say they don't win a title for the next 2 years, and LeBron starts to lose, he's not LeBron anymore. And then it's Anthony Davis. He's in the same situation as he was in the Pelicans. I mean, that changes real quick, and they have. So it's this year's draft. You can't trade 2 years in a row. So I believe it's this year's draft, pick swap, next year's draft, pick swap, year after that draft.
Yeah, you have to have you can't have non-consecutive first-round picks, if I said that right.
You can't have consecutive years where you don't have your first-round pick.
Yes, correct.
So you can say a pick swap, and then that's fine, and that's what they did. But they have, the Pelicans have a pick swap with the Lakers in 2025. LeBron's not going to be there in 2025. Anthony Davis isn't going to be there in 2025 if LeBron's not there.
Anthony Davis might not be there for another year.
Well, he will be.
If Anthony Davis left after a year, how big of a... Oh, my gosh. This Lakers team would be a joke.
So I thought what the interesting thing was, it seemed like the Lakers got all the leverage in the world because of Rich Paul. Because Rich Paul came out and said, anybody can trade for Anthony Davis. We're just going to go to LA the next year. And they're for sure going to sign him to some type of deal. Mm-hmm. So it's like I wasn't really too worried about that. No one was, but it's like you kind of, and I guess they kept Kuz, which is what they really cared about, keeping Kuzma. Mm-hmm. But it was like you kind of, this has got to be a really good free agency period with them, and I personally don't think they should go after another max slot. I've heard talks. I mean, if they can get Kawhi Leonard, you get Kawhi Leonard. But besides that, I don't think I'd go after a max slot for Kemba. I think I'd try to get, you got to try to get people to fill out that roster. People that can start minutes in the finals.
If they get the max spot, they're not going to have any room for role players, for depth. They don't have any of that. They need to find a point guard. I like Kuzma with LeBron James. They need a point guard very, very badly. I think they only have 5 players under contract currently.
It's a little more than that. They don't have a shooting guard under contract. They only have 1 point guard. It's like a small forward, 2 power forwards, and a center. That's it. And then they have capsules that they can get, but I think if they have about $30-something million this year, I mean, unless you are 100% getting Kawhi, I think you got to get some throw a couple 4-year or 10 mil a year 4-year deals. 40 mil. Throw a couple of those around. Get some depth.
Yeah, I don't know what players those are right now necessarily. I don't know who those players are in the free agent market. There is one player. Harrison Barnes just said he's going to opt out of that Sacramento deal, and he's going to look to free agency. But Harrison Barnes is like a $20 million a year player, though.
All right. Well, I don't think Harrison Barnes is going to get $20 million. I think there are other things too, like some of the people that are going to be available. So I know it's a lot you hear is Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker. Klay Thompson's also available, but there are other people like Chris Middleton, D'Angelo Russell. He's restricted, but they can make an offer. DeMarcus Cousins is available. I don't think he'd be getting max. Bogdanovich for the Pacers, he's available, and that's someone they should go after. Julius Randle is another piece maybe they could add. There are some guys out there.
I agree. There's definitely players out there, but if we're gonna do the smaller contracts, none of those guys are really gonna be smaller contracts, except for Boogie. I think Bogdanovich is gonna still be north of $15 million.
Well, I mean, I guess so, but I think if you do the Bogdanovich and maybe, I don't know, someone else, and then you get a bunch of vet men guys, wing chasers, isn't that better than just having Kyrie Irving?
I think that's what they need. They need shooters. I know I think JJ Redick is a name they've mentioned a lot.
Yeah. I think JJ is restricted, so the 76ers can match, but I'm not sure. That's
possible. I'm not sure, but I've heard JJ Redick's name mentioned quite a bit in all these trade talks, or not the trade talks, but free agent talks.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk. I mean, the Lakers got a lot of work to do. They're still a long way away from being championship contenders. I'm hearing Brian Windhorst. They're saying he doesn't think they're going to be contenders next year. He thinks it's another 2 years until they're competing for an NBA championship. And I don't know. LeBron keeps getting older. Anthony Davis is on a 1-year deal. I mean, if this team is just a catastrophe next year, why would Anthony Davis re-sign?
Exactly. Well, they're going to work out a deal with him this year, because this is where he wants to be. That's what Rich Paul said. He wants to grow the brand. But yeah, it's I mean, how patient is Anthony Davis going to be? I
don't know. They should still be in the playoffs. They should be fighting for the playoffs. Anthony Davis hasn't even seen much playoff time, so I'm sure that'll be enough to keep him there and patient for the time being. They need to find those players. They need to pick up integral parts to that team and add some depth. They need guards. They need a center. They need everything.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Pelicans for a second. Rumors are now they're trying to move that 4th pick, possibly move Lonzo.
Yeah.
The 4th pick is interesting because I've heard they might move up to try and get RJ Barrett because they want the best friends Zion and RJ together, or they might. And then they also have the rumor that the Hawks offered the 8 and 10 for the 4th pick, which could be just a smokescreen to try and get more from the 4th pick, or that can be true. I don't know if that is true with the Hawks. I don't think they would offer both 8 and 10. I think they would have went 8 and 17 or 10 and 17. Not.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds a little too much from there.
I could see 8 and 17. Although I think a lot of people say you got about 4 players. You got 3 or 4 players, which I don't necessarily agree with. But a lot of people are saying that, so I think that people think that 1 through 4 is very valuable. The only problem with that is I could see the Hawks being very content at 8 getting Cam Reddish.
I could too. I could definitely see that. The 4th pick is also really interesting to me because there's not a clear-cut number 4. There could be Garland, Culver, or Hunter. I don't know because I don't think the Pelicans are going to keep the number 4 pick. So my 4th best player is DeAndre Hunter, but I don't think he's the number 4 pick.
Yeah. Well, so okay, it seems like the Pelicans aren't going to keep him, and depending on what they do, so they need. What's interesting is right now they kind of want. Don't you think they kind of want? Jackson Hayes a little bit. Do you think that he's interesting to them? But they also would want a 3. I mean, really.
Jackson Hayes is like the 10th pick, so I mean he's not going 4th. If they want to trade down, that's like so. There's the Hawks pick.
Trade down and try to get him. But I think more. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So that could be a reason for trading down. But I think the more important thing is, I mean, if you have DeAndre Hunter, then you're starting off with a potential lineup of Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball, DeAndre Hunter, Zion Williamson. I mean, that is a defensive masterpiece, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's a very good defensive team. I think Lonzo would love to play with Zion and DeAndre Hunter. Yeah, I mean, I love DeAndre Hunter. I think DeAndre Hunter's a great player. I don't know what the Pelicans' move is right now. I don't know if they're trying to add vets, if they want to play for the playoffs this year, or if they just want to develop Zion or let Zion play a year.
You got him on the rookie deal, so you have 2 years of him and then 2 player options, or team options, not player options, team options. So they're not too concerned. They just want to be competitive before he signs that next contract, so he will sign that next contract.
And then Lonzo's on 2 more teams.
The thing that I don't get is, if I'm them, I don't think I'm trading Lonzo. I think I'd much rather put Brandon Ingram up for grabs rather than Lonzo.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know what they want to do with Drew Holiday. I guess they're gonna have to move him to the 2 guard because
they can move Lonzo to the 2. I mean, really,
you want Lonzo handling the ball though. You want that playmaking ability. So I mean,
he was off ball with LeBron James.
I know, but I think that was the worst thing for him.
Yeah.
I think that was.
I mean, that's true. It wasn't great. And he's not a shooter. Maybe, you would have to figure that out. But I just think there's something to be said about that potential, because he was the best defender on the Lakers this last year. Drew Holiday is one of the best defenders in the league. Plus, Zion Williamson is a high-energy guy who likes to fight for rebounds and stuff. I just think that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I guess you would want the ball kind of in Lonzo's hands, but that's a good defense. Your offense doesn't have to be that good. That I think it if you can have a really good defense, it lowers the bar for your team, because the hard thing is constantly creating good offense. That's why players like Kevin Durant are such a premium.
That offense isn't very good, but that offense isn't very good. But yeah, that defense is phenomenal. They're not gonna have. I don't think they're gonna take that pick. That pick is not gonna be theirs at the end of the day. They're going to either move up for, I think, R.J. Barrett, or they're trading back. So we'll figure that out.
I don't know why I get R.J. Barrett, besides the fact that he played with Zion.
They need a scorer on that team.
I guess, but I think if I'm them, I don't know. I'm not huge on moving up for R.J. And what do they have to move up to? Do they have to move up to the 2?
The 3.
Well, Grizzlies want John Morant, so I guess they'd only have to move up 1.
Yeah, they just need to move up to the Knicks pick. They would just. Oh! I did hear this deal. I think was it Mike Conley for New Orleans? Hold up, let me look this up real quick.
Okay. Would they want?
So anyway, it was Mike Conley might go.